Bitcoin finally made a move here to the upside, and now the question is this actually a sustainable move? Will we see continuation here to $48,000 in the next week, or is this just another major fake out here? If you want to know what I'm talking about, then you should definitely stick around here. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, like this video, and also activate the bell so that you will never miss out on these really important updates. And now let me show you what I believe is going to happen next. I want to start off here directly with the Bitcoin chart. So when we're looking here at the parabola that I have here already for 2 weeks or so, we see that the parabola was clearly lost, but we got a retest today of that parabola since we dropped off it, and saw for now a rejection from there. That is absolutely fine. I have seen that before, that the Bitcoin price action or in general price action is faking out from the parabola and is then actually reclaiming it and continues to go higher, but only for a little bit of time. I don't want to say that this is then just continuously pumping along the parabola. So normally we get 1 or 2 fake outs along that parabola, potentially maybe here, and then we move a little bit higher, and afterwards we lose the parabola for good and will go then into a corrective move here to the downside. Still, I believe, to potentially sub $40,000, unless we would go over $50,000 in the next coming weeks. But for now, I'm not seeing that, unless we would more or less chop sideways up into the ETF approval in, what is it? A little bit more than 2 weeks. When we're looking here on the 4-hourly chart, where I had pointed out multiple times potential bear traps, so we can see that we have experienced potential 2 bear traps here once again. So, and while we were doing so, we created here in the lower time frame structure a lower low and a higher low. And by doing so, we formed a W pattern, which is a reversal pattern, a bullish one, indicating that we'll potentially continue to go higher here. If I would treat this now as a W pattern, then I draw here my neckline, and now you can see already the shape that we have here. There's the W. And measure the target. Then first of all, you can clearly see that we retested the neckline and tried to break above it and got rejected. But second of all, that the technical target would be around $46,858. Now, based on past price action, we know that we are here back in our support resistance flip area. And as long as we can stay within that area, we will see a continuous move here to the upside, in my opinion. There's nothing pointing to that we should be massively losing this now to the downside and, let's say, go back to $41,000. So I don't see it right now. We have here a downward sloping now support line, former resistance line. This will act as support. We have here the horizontal level of that former support area that we broke back into, that will act as support. Only the top of that area is acting right now as resistance, but this is also due to the fact, like I said, because it's in alignment, the neckline of W pattern, and we would continue to go here higher once we are breaking that neckline at $43,538 approximately. So if you're not already in a long that I've given you yesterday, then this is your entry for the next move here to the upside where you can enter. I might actually front run this a little bit and would enter at 43,200. That's just me. Don't do always what I do, you know. So there is only a $400 difference, yeah, but it's 1%. So if I trade with 25x, it's 25% price difference in profit that I can take here with me to the upside. And guys, don't forget, if you want to trade these trades that I give absolutely for free here, do it on BYBIT. You still get $30,000 absolutely for free if you're using my link here in the description and in the pin comment below. Also on BitGet, you get still $30,000. And on CoinW, you get a $5 bonus just for signing up. Yes, also on CoinW, they have no KYC on CoinW. So you don't need a VPN. You can just go there, sign up and trade on CoinW. And what they just told me, that they have a special campaign until the 25th of December where you can get a bonus up to $2,000 for trading BRC20 tokens. So you should definitely go and sign up on CoinW. And if you want the highest bonus available in the market, you get this one on FAIRDESK, and there you can actually copy trade me in the next hour. Then my account is ready for copy trade. Yeah, just use the specific link and I will open a trade on altcoins really soon and post this also in my Discord. All these links are in the pinned comment and in the description of this video, guys. So now let's get back to Bitcoin. On the lower time frames, on the 30 minutes time frame, what I can see is that we are most likely to get continuation to the upside. First of all, because we have here now a short-term upward sloping trend line that we are respecting, and we have here a downward sloping resistance line, and in the next 2 hours we are running here into the apex, and that will also give us then direction if we continue to go higher or if we get here a small retest of support to the downside, because here that weekend range, the top of it was broken and should act as support now. Yeah, with a potential retest of the weekend range, if we would get it, this will act as support, and we will continue to move then from here to the upside. So it could be a short-lived correction before we continue to go higher from here. If we break this to the upside, we can treat this as a bullish pennant, and this bullish pennant has also a target of 45,388. Strongly believe if we are breaking already into these levels, then we also definitely get the higher target of $46,800. Here on the CME chart, I only want to point out that we finally have broken through that CME gap here that was beneath us, and now we are also here on the way to fill the next one at $44,340 all the way up to $44,760. I don't see us basically doing a Bud Simpson here to the downside, something like that. It's also highly unusual to see something like that when we have filled a CME gap. Here also the CME gap beneath us will act as support, and from there we will go up and fill the next one. We should also not forget we have a CME gap above us, I think close to $48,000, $49,000 from the last bull run. There was somewhere, oh sorry, actually I have to do this on the 4-hourly chart to actually see it. I'm not quite sure anymore, but I had the feeling that we had here one above us. No, okay, my mistake, guys, my mistake. Let's move on. Here on the 4-hourly chart with the liquidation levels, I just want to point out, if you would have listened to me yesterday with here this downward sloping trend line to be broken to enter a trade here, you would have almost reached the target. I still believe because liquidity is above us that we will go and take this out, and that will then also coincide with the technical target of the W pattern that I've given you. We are almost here at the initial target. I still believe that we're gonna reach the technical target, as I mentioned, all the way up here, because liquidity is above us. Nothing has changed. The underlying liquidity is far away from us. So the directional move here should be still to the upside. We can see some chop here, but overall we should take out the liquidity that is sitting here above us. Also on the liquidation heat map, we have taken out a really important level here, and that was here at $42,800. Here these super bright yellow areas that were over 100, oh sorry, that was actually $300 million, only between $42,800 and $42,900 that were taken out here in short liquidations. Now above us, we might not see as much for the time being. Here's maybe like 200 million, something like that. And beneath us is something it's a little bit less actually. It's a little bit less. Maybe it's like 100 million. So even here on the liquidation heat map, it's a little bit more balanced right now, but overall there is still more liquidity above us in a $1,000 spread so $1,000 move to the upside than to the downside, which also tells me that overall, over the next coming days, we should see a directional move to the upside. So now you guys ask yourself, okay, can we actually reach $48,000 in the next week? Is that possible? And based here on the 12-hourly chart, I have to tell you, yes, it is possible. Because when we have a look here on this massive rising wedge that the Bitcoin price is respecting here for quite a while already, then we see that if we come back up to the top, that we would touch by Monday next week, more or less, we would by Monday next week touch $48,000. The only thing that we have to watch here is that we reclaim $43,181, which would also coincide with this upward sloping trend line. And once that is reclaimed, that will open the doors to move to $48,000. So I believe if we reclaim that level, that we're definitely going to see a move all the way up here. And from there, I would expect a harsh rejection to the downside, something like this. I will have so much limit orders all the way from here, from 40,000 to 37,400. Like every 250, every $500, I will have limit orders in that area and hope to get filled when we get this corrective move to the downside. So, but of course, we're not there yet. Let's move first to $48,000 if we get there, and then we're talking about the downwards potential here. Here on the weekly chart, nothing has changed. I have shown you yesterday that we're most likely going to chop here around between 42 and 43,573. But I still believe here, based on how this is looking right now, that we will see that pop here to the upside into that resistance area here based on the weekly, and then roll over and move lower from here. A quick look at the Bitcoin dominance tells us exactly what I had pointed out yesterday, that we are at a retest of the 53.5% level. And from here, if Bitcoin would continue to pump here higher, I would expect that we get even to 54%. But if Bitcoin stalls here a little bit and starts moving sideways, then most likely we're going to see the dominance cooling off, and some altcoins will actually start running. So, and you can see here that if we would come down, that most likely we're going to pop them back up when Bitcoin makes its moves, when Bitcoin makes its own move, which is fine. And then we finally move here to 52% and we'll get our altcoin season that we are waiting for. On the USDT dominance, I have to tell you, I got yesterday a little bit concerned when the dominance jumped to 6.16%. But again, that level held really good as resistance. We got then rejected from there. And also the second resistance level that we were yesterday slightly above held at 5.89% and is acting continuously as resistance. And also here I expect now continuation to the downside, which will be good overall for the whole crypto market, because when the USDT dominance goes down, everything else goes up. The total market cap is also back in altcoin season territory, but here I would like to see a slightly higher pop to like $1.6 trillion. We are at 1.468 right now. So that means some altcoins are actually moving, which is nice. And with the next pop from Bitcoin to the upside, we will get above here. And you see then major coins running insanely high. But also remember, when Bitcoin is done with its move, we will definitely also see then this correction to the downside once Bitcoin is correcting and goes sub $40,000. So we will lose that level here then most likely, unless the altcoins hold more or less stable while Bitcoin has that corrective move. But I don't expect that to be happening. I expect that everything is tanking with Bitcoin. And when Bitcoin is done and stops at $37,000, $38,000, $39,000, that the altcoins start running like crazy only then at that moment in time. When we are having a look at Ethereum, we see here that more or less Ethereum has the same downward sloping trend line like Bitcoin and also broke this here now to the upside. The next imminent resistance level is $2,427. You would be not too late to enter here now a long position around 2,218. That is also a prior resistance level. Just wanted to point that out, an important one, and also 2,245. So in that vicinity, you can enter a trade and trade this to $2,427 here. Also in the VPVR, you see here is the one of the longest bars right now in that price area that we are in right now. If you want to play it really safe, wait that we are above $2,250 with a 30 minutes close and enter then a position, because then there's basically not much resistance anymore holding us back to move here into higher price levels. Here on the 4-hourly chart, the Elliott wave count that I gave you yesterday seems to be playing out here. So it looks like that I was absolutely right with my 1, the 2, the 3 and also the 4. Remember, I told you yesterday I cannot be sure where the 4 is until I see a reaction of the price back to the upside. So, and that's what we basically got now. So I'm pretty sure that was the 4, and it means we are not in. We are now in the final 5th wave, which should bring us closely to $2,600. So that move will stop anywhere between $2,475 to $2,600. In my opinion, because the 5th wave is smaller usually than the 3rd wave. The 3rd wave is the strongest wave in that whole count. So that's why, yeah, when I compare the 3rd to the 5th, it will be around $2,400 to $2,600 based on the Elliott wave count, where Ethereum will top out, in my opinion. Also here on the Bitcoin Ethereum pair, here I hope to see that we will finally get this pop here to the upside and Ethereum starts lagging behind. There's so much hate about Ethereum right now because it's lagging so crazy and transaction fees are getting higher again, that I hope that once we see this pop here, that Ethereum will then also finally make its move here to the upside. Guys, that's it already for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, make sure that smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you then a little bit earlier again tomorrow.